My name is Sanusi, Chevening Scholar 2022/2023 academic session, and I'm excited to be on AFM Stories sharing essay tips for applying to Chevening. So you already know by now, if you're interested in applying for Chevening Scholarship, that there are 4 essays you have to write, 500 words each. And they include the leadership and influence essay, the networking essay, the career plan essay, as well as the studying in the UK essay. First, for the leadership essay, you need to really think about all the ways that you've taken charge or influenced people into action for your experience or in your volunteering activity. So, in your workplace, while you're volunteering, or even down to while you were a student in the university. So, you need to first think about what are the ways, what projects, and did I play a leadership role? Did I play an influencing role? So think about blog articles that you've written, think about project that you've led, think about volunteering, all of those things. Make a long list of them and then categorize them in order of importance. And so one of the best ways to write your essay is to weave them in a chronological order. You could do it chronological, whether from the most recent to the least recent, or from the least recent to the most recent. So, but you need to be able to shape it in a way that it tells a comprehensive story about you. You can choose to have an introduction if you want, but an introduction, no matter how short it is, kind of helps to introduce you and what your plans are to the reader, such that you communicate it best. So, of course, you probably have heard of the STAR approach. That's the best way to structure each point you're making in your essays. All of them, it applies pretty much to all of them. So, each example, you need at least 2 to 3 examples, depending on how strong they are, and you need to structure them in such a way that all the main points are represented. So in the STAR approach, you have your situation, task, action, result. So you need to first of all introduce what the situation is in 2012, this, that. And you talk about action. You talk about the task, what your task was, what you had to do, what you needed to do to achieve a certain goal, and what actions you took as a result of those tasks. And finally, you talk about the results. So in this aspect of the results, some people tend to just say, oh, we're able to do this and that, but you need to do a bit more than that. You need to talk about what were the numbers, what was the impact like. Okay, so as a result of this essay or this blog, I helped 3 people pass their exams. I helped this. It does not matter how big it is. That's not that's not what matters. You just need to be able to quantify the impact that you're able to achieve with each of those examples. And we also know that there are situations that you might not have specific numbers. You need to find a creative way around it to still kind of show a bit of quantification, or what the spread of the impact was. So those are essentially ways to do with your leadership essay. For your networking essay, you need to also bring in the STAR approach here. Like in the leadership essay, you need to draw up a list. Which people have you met, and how did you manage to connect with them? So this person, it should be related to your career goals. It should be related to your achievement. It should be related to what you want to study. You have to make sure that there is a strong connection between all your essays that you're writing. So in this context of networking, you have to mention the names. You don't say, oh, there was a prominent person in my field. You have to mention, oh, Mr. AB is a prominent person in my field because they've achieved this and this, and I've been following them for a while. And then as a result, I attended this conference, I did this. And you need to show you need to show the process, show your working, as they say, on how you facilitated that network, how you facilitated that connection, and how you maintained it in such a way that it led to you using it to achieve something. So if, for instance, you met someone influential, let me say you met Yemi Alade, and Yemi Alade does not have a connection to your career and all of that, then it's pointless to bring that there, even if you're still friends with Yemi Alade and do amazing things. You have to creatively and deliberately pick important people that are relevant to the point, to your career goals, to your course of study, and what have you. And like in the leadership essay, you need to still use the STAR approach and structure it: situation, task, action, result. And usually, I think there is a third R, or people call it L, in the STAR, that usually goes unmentioned, which is basically what you learned as a result of it. So sometimes, and people don't say this enough. Sometimes maybe you took that action, you took initiative, you did everything you needed to do, but things didn't work out. And while it's not a success, it might come with a big learning which feeds into something else that probably you probably achieve. So maybe you're meeting with this person, you wanted it to do this, or like to achieve a big thing, but the plans fell through. You can say, oh, I learned that one of the reasons why this happened was this. And so I was able to apply this learning in my next situation, which led to. So you could make that connection to your second example. It's usually a very honest and what do you call it? Like it's an honest and very creative way to kind of communicate your story and show resilience and all of that. So for your studying in the UK essay, you need to, there are so many things you need to do. There are so many schools in the UK that are eligible for, for that are eligible partners of the Chevening scholarship. So in order for you to select it, the Chevening website itself has like a course search option where you could search the courses, everything you want. And sometimes you would think that, oh, there is no such course that encapsulates the, maybe you think your dreams or what you really want to study is so unique that it's impossible that there will be one. Trust me, you'll find some of the most unthinkable courses, and when you search it on the Chevening website, it usually shows up. But if you don't find it there, Chevening tends to say if there is a course you want to study that's available in the UK but not shown on the Chevening course website, you should let them know, whether by email. They have a link on the website that you could use. And so one way to really pick out, there are so many ways to really pick out what course is best for you. You need to look through the faculty, you need to look through what their module options are. You need to look through it, like for the course you're studying. So for instance, Oxford is a renowned university all around the world, but it might not be the best university to study creative writing in, for instance. So because there are better creative writing programs in other schools. So depending on what you want to achieve, what you want to get, whether you want where you will get the best on the course, or you're looking at the environment or proximity to certain places, to all of that, you need to, keep your head down and do a lot of research to pick out the three best schools for your application. And then you have to now carefully and clearly communicate these in your essay. So write, why have you chosen this school? Why have you chosen that? And it shouldn't rely only on academics. You have to talk about things like the city, or you like for Norwich, for instance, you like this. Or if you're choosing Manchester, you say, oh, I love Manchester also because I'm a fan of Manchester United. I want to attend games and all of that. Those are nice things to include. Just make sure you do due diligence and research And if you want to mention the ranking, university ranking, the course ranking, all of those things, just make sure you do your research and capture it clearly. Finally, for your career plan essay, you need to now think about clearly how the course you want to study is directly related to your career plans. And you need to be able to communicate your career plans in 2 or 3 major timelines. So you need to look in the short term, in the medium term, and in the long term. So in the short term, you're thinking 1 to 2 years after you finish your study in the UK. What do you plan to do? Do you have a job that you currently work at that you probably return to maybe at a higher level? Or do you have a business that you're running and you want to revamp and apply your learning to expand it and all of that? Or do you want to go to a new place and all of that? You need to clearly communicate that. And one thing Chevening wants to also see is that you have a clear plan to return to your home country. So you have to, I basically advise anyone who's applying to use some version of the phrase upon my return to my country, upon my return to Nigeria, upon my return to Ghana or wherever. So you have to make that clear that you're returning, because the goal of the scholarship is to finance you to study in the UK and then return to apply that knowledge in your country for at least 2 years afterwards. So you need to make that clear description of your goals. Of course, sometimes these goals don't come true, but the examiners, the people who are reading your essay, need to see that you've thought through what your future, your potential future would look like, and that you're taking actions to achieve them. So if you're studying, say, what do you call it, international development, you can't just say, oh, in the by the time I return, I intend to become a minister of something, something. Like it has to be clear. It has to be clear that you are on that path, and how and what are you doing, and what things are you doing that will lead you to that path. So don't while it's good to be ambitious in some of the things you're looking at, I'll say some of the more ambitious things, save them for the long-term goals, but also let it not be ambitious in a way that is not thinking, that's not tied to all the things you're currently doing that will lead you there. So I think that's basically it for individual essay. But in general, to summarize the essay tips, there are a few things I think will help you. One is read the Chevening website. They have a blog, they have the FAQ section, they have everything. The Chevening website has almost everything you will need to succeed. They have inspiring stories there, they have all the tips, they have everything, everything you need, information about different courses in different universities and all of that. You need to make the Chevening website your friend. In that way, it will give you most of the information you need, and anything else you don't know, you could consult people who have had similar experiences. And then there are tons of YouTube videos and other instructions online. AFM Stories is one of the people. For instance, you when you check YouTube, you find lots of tips regarding different aspects of the application. Sometimes a step-by-step breakdown on things you need to do, how to respond to things. So you need to do lots of research. You need to read. You need to pay close attention, and just take note of the fact that it's a very competitive scholarship, and in order for you to get in, you need to go the extra mile. Don't expect that you will sit down in one day, write the essay, don't have anyone go through them, and just send them in and you'll be successful. It's possible that you will be, but it's unlikely, because a lot more people put in more work and take more time and painstakingly go through their essays for to submit to this scholarship that thousands of people are competing to go into. So another aspect of my tip here is to find someone who's had experience going through the Chevening scholarship. Have them read your essays, have them go to, even if they can't read it, even if you can get like a 10-minute chat with them, whether it's online, video, whatever, for them to tell you tips on how to improve your essays and all of that. Or if they can quickly skim through and tell you, oh, I think you can adjust this or that, it really helps. But beyond people who have had that experience as well, of Chevening, there are also people who've just gotten other scholarship. It helps if they can look at your essay. But then your friends, your colleagues, all of those people can also just look at those essays for you, to check for grammar, to check for coherence, to check for all of these. And finally, try to make your essays independently comprehensive. So every single essay should be understandable and clear on its own, but they should also be cohesive together. When you bring three of them together, the reader or the examiner should be able to see a clear connection between all four. So those are the tips I have for you regarding your essays. I wish you good luck in your application, and don't forget to like and subscribe this video. Thank you.